Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT, I'm sorry, I meant Super, all follow the same storyline and are a huge franchise. Now I understand this anime and most of its meanings very well. However, one character has always confused me, that character being Gohan. Now, the reason why he has confused me is because his character belief has changed throughout the show when no other characters has to the extent that his has. Now I know some people are going to say that Gohan is not the only character who's changed. I mean Piccolo, Tien Shinhan, Chaozu, Vegeta, and even Frieza to a certain extent went from villains to heroes. So clearly their beliefs change, right? Well, let me explain. When it comes to Vegeta, his character beliefs are that strength is all. Some would say that this changed later on, as he now believes in protecting your loved ones. He's basically Endover is basically Vegeta. Like think about that for a second. However, because Vegeta believes that strength is needed to protect what you love, this shows that his character beliefs actually have not changed. See, Vegeta used to be evil, but his belief was the same because he needed to train hard to protect his pride and the same race as their prince. So, the only thing that changed about his belief is what he needs to protect, which is always going to change, right? What I cared about last year isn't the same as I care about this year. But at its core, he does believe strength is all. Piccolo is a character that represents change. He represents a monster turning good. His character belief is that you must choose your own path and let others choose for themselves. Piccolo was created to kill Goku, but he chose not to do this because eventually he realized that he didn't actually hate Goku, but he only hated him because of what King Piccolo made him believe. He also realized that Gohan wasn't a fighter far before anyone else, and consistently chastised Goku for forcing Gohan to fight. Piccolo's beliefs never changed, because unfortunately he is a static character. I love Piccolo, and most people do as well. He's a badass, he looks different from everyone else, you know what I mean? He has very comedic moments, and he self-sacrificed himself for Gohan, which was a very cool moment. However, he has very little direct character development. Instead, it's very subtle. His characters kinda almost develop based off his interactions with other characters. Goku is a strange case, as we all know, but his belief is simple: train and fight. That is all he knows and that's all he wants to do. He simply wants to do what he enjoys, and all he enjoys is training. I mean, he even let the Earth get destroyed by Frieza in Resurrection of F, which was not that great, because he got too excited about the fight, and he let his guard down. Now, Vegeta also did this, but not for the purpose of excitement, but for the fact that he wanted to savor his revenge. In that moment, revenge overtook what his beliefs were. Normally, Vegeta would have killed him instantly to eliminate any chance of him, harming the people he cares about, but revenge overtook him. That's how anger works. Goku, on the other hand, was just excited for the fight. Now, as much as we all love Goku, he's kind of like Piccolo in the sense that he's a very static character, and most of his development only occurs through god tier music and animation. See what I did there? God tier. Now, I could go into all the side characters, like how Yajirobe's sword is actually his waifu. I don't know, but I won't unless I gain one sub. I'm just putting that out there. Now, finally, we're gonna get to the big boy, the big Lebowski himself, Gohan. From the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, we learned that he's a weak kid who loves animals and studies a lot because of Chi-Chi, who's bae, by the way. He's thrown into a lot of conflict early on in his life. Gohan, not Gohan, Raditz, the Vegeta, Nappa, he had to fight all of them, except Vegeta, who would have probably murdered him. Now, from the Saiyan Saga on, we know what happens. Gohan fights alongside Piccolo. Piccolo dies, yada yada yada. Gohan gets angry. Now, during Cell Saga is where it gets big. Throughout the entire show and during the saga, Gohan's beliefs were that he must do what is needed to protect those he loves. He didn't want to fight Nappa or Vegeta, but he did it because he realized that he had lost Piccolo, and he realized that one of the reasons Piccolo died, I think he did, is that because he froze up when they were doing the combination on him. In Planet Namek Saga, there was a clear example of it, the clearest I can think of. When Dende was about to get murdered by Frieza, Gohan leaped in even though Krillin told him not to, because he didn't have a choice. In his mind, he had to protect who he cared about, and he cared about these Namekians. Now, in Super, this changed a lot. Gohan changed. Oh, I forgot to mention the Cell Saga. The Cell Saga. He didn't want to fight Cell. Everyone knows he didn't want to fight Cell, but he awakened himself because he realized, yo, if I don't beat Cell, everyone I care about is gone. I mean, I'm pretty sure that was one of the lines he said. In Super, this changed though. His belief, in my opinion, changed from doing what you know is needed to doing what you want to do. Gohan went from training for the purpose of protecting others to living a modest life, because that's what he wanted. He wanted to study. He wanted a nice career. He wanted just a normal family. Now this was which is kind of sad when you think about it, that his main goal in life, despite being this prodigy, is just having a normal family. Just shows how horrible his childhood must have been. Traumatic. This was strange though, because it makes sense that it would make sense if teenage Gohan, the one after Cell Saga that we saw during the start of Buu Saga, right, the tournament, it made sense that he didn't train too hard because it was a 10-year gap. Like I'm sure like the first 2 years after Cell Saga, Gohan was training, but afterwards it just feathered out because who motivated him to train? It was Goku, and Piccolo wouldn't force him to because Piccolo knew he didn't that Gohan wouldn't want to do that. Along with that, Vegeta was around, and so was Trunks, and they were both very powerful. Now, I need to stop saying now. Another point to make is that after Beerus attacked, Gohan didn't train. I mean, Beerus nearly destroyed the planet, and he only didn't do it because he was satisfied by Goku. At that point, if Gohan had started training during Resurrection of F, he would have just annihilated Frieza, and there would have been no chance of Frieza being able to destroy the Earth. I mean, Gohan's a prodigy. He could easily overtake Kakaroto and Vegeta if he wanted to. He even had a child, not Vidal, Pan, but didn't train. And that's one of the reasons why he was so weak throughout all of Super. Except he recently did start training for the World Tournament arc, not the World Tournaments, the Universe Survival Saga arc and the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 match. But because of that, it only makes me believe that his belief changed twice over. Now, his belief didn't change from his original belief to a different belief to his original belief. It didn't go from train to protect others to live a modest life to train to protect others. I feel like it went from do what you don't want to do if it means protecting others, which for him was training and fighting, to do what you want to do, which was training to living a modest life, to do what you want to do, but at the same time train to protect others, which is it's so weird. It's almost like they just decided they didn't know what to do with the character anymore and just combined his first two character beliefs and then just amalgamate it into that. I mean, Gohan should be at this point the strongest character. I hope when they eventually Dragon Ball is gonna end because realistically, you know what? It's not gonna end. They make too much money. But let's assume it ended. I feel like it would end with Gohan having to. I don't even think he would break his potential, which is really sad. Gohan's one of those characters. He's like Yamcha. You know what I mean? They could be very powerful. They could, but they just almost. It's almost like the writers choose not to. Look at Goten and Trunks. They were so powerful. Super Saiyans at what age 3 or something? They could. It's just the character. I feel like the writers just give up on them because they're not as marketable. Like, let's be honest. There are very few people that actually like Yamcha, and there are very few people that actually care about Gohan. It's all about Vegeta and Goku. Now, with all this being said, this video was made without rewatching all of Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super GT. But considering the fact that I'm a very small YouTuber, I didn't feel like spending 2 months on this video. Now, if anyone guessed this point, please give me any pointers, any advice, anything. Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good day.